Hi there, my name is Julie Ira, and I am a senior in the program The Environment. Thank you so much for joining me here today. The title of my presentation is Let's Talk Trash, Implementing Sustainability in Higher Education. I perform this research and work as part of my job with UW Recycling. As most of you may know, climate change is a real and pressing issue, especially with projections such as the one listed here in the first bullet point, stating that our planet will soon be approaching its limit for its ability to provide. We must start taking action to incorporate sustainability in our ways of life. Higher education institutions, which I will be referring to as HEIs, offer the opportunity to catalyze large-scale sustainable infrastructure and behavioral change. For example, the UW community consists of not only students, but faculty, staff, alumni, Seattle residents, and Greater Washington residents. Therefore, there is an opportunity here to leverage sustainability through all dimensions of campus life and set the precedent for what sustainability could look like in our communities. However, this is easier said than done. Incorporating sustainability in any campus is difficult because it requires the rethinking and redesigning of quite literally every already existing system and infrastructure in the community. So for my capstone project, I really wanted to know what are some of the major barriers to the integration of sustainability in higher education, and what are the best practices to overcome them. Through my internship with UW Recycling, I was able to investigate this question. As part of my position, I participated in a fellowship with the Post-Landfill Action Network, also known as PLAN. PLAN is a zero waste consulting company that trained me to conduct the zero waste assessment and act as the liaison between the UW and PLAN staff. I conducted a tri-campus assessment, meaning I assessed the waste operations of all three UW campuses by interviewing and surveying stakeholders. I asked campus stakeholders general questions that were applicable across all campus departments, as well as department-specific questions. With the help of PLAN, the data I collected was then used to identify the system-wide gaps in waste infrastructure and outline potential long-term sustainability solutions, which were all included in a cumulative assessment report, which you can see here in Figure 1. And if you scan the barcode using your phone, you can actually access a blog that I've written about the report and read the whole report. The intent of this assessment was to create a strategic plan for the UW to achieve zero waste in the future. In addition to my internship duties, I performed a literature review of academic sources about the incorporation of sustainability in universities, and then cross-referenced the UW zero waste assessment findings with my independent research. Our findings revealed three major barriers to the integration of sustainability in HEIs. The first is that there is insufficient sustainability data. The sustainability field is still in its infancy, and within the past decade, more universities are starting to move towards advancing sustainable development there. So there grows a need of a standard to measure progress in achieving sustainability goals. Because of the historical lack of guidance on sustainability metrics, there is little known about broader trends in environmental performance in universities. As a result, when universities go to set these goals, they're at a bit of a disadvantage because there's no standard or baseline to compare or build a foundation off of. Another major barrier is a lack of communication and greenwashing. With discussions of climate change becoming more prominent in the public sphere, universities are starting to market their green credentials as part of institutional branding. This results in a shift of focus from implementing sustainability to more about how sustainability is tied to the reputation and could be perceived by the public. As seen in Figure 2, there are traces of greenwashing at the UW. When I interviewed and surveyed stakeholders, I asked if they were aware of the sustainable purchasing policies that the UW advertises and that the campus follows. Of the 46 people I spoke with, only about half of them were able to say that they were aware of these policies and actually enforce them. And about 40% of the respondents were unaware of the policies that they had even existed and therefore did not enforce them. And about 10% of the respondents were aware but did not enforce them. The third barrier is that there's little to no existing framework to support the integration of sustainability in academics across disciplines. While UW has certain academic credit requirements, there are none for sustainability or environmental related classes unless it is in your immediate field of study. the responsibility to try to incorporate sustainability into learning then falls on faculty who are not required or are not equipped with the knowledge to teach about sustainability because it is not their area of expertise. Some of the best practices that we identified were establishing regular assessment strategies, which allows universities to set performance baselines, identify what works and what does not work for their specific campus, and establish a mechanism for collecting and quantifying information. The next best practice is reporting. This assessment showed that stakeholders are so important in the integration of sustainability on campus. Therefore, the dissemination of information is also very critical. The whole campus community should be participating in a continuous dialogue of what sustainability should look like on campus and should be aware of their university's progress and areas for improvement. Therefore, communicating reports improves the visibility and documentation of the greening process and therefore avoids greenwashing. The final best practice focuses on sustainability in academics. Universities must focus on integrating sustainability on both the faculty and the student end. Faculty should be given resources to help supplement their own knowledge of sustainability so they can incorporate the concept into their own curriculum. And then for students, a set of sustainable competencies or learning objectives should be established in each discipline so that sustainability is defined across various academic and professional disciplines. So circling back to climate change and the issues that HEIs face in the greening process, we see that there are a lot of unknowns. And my research and results are significant because it gives a little more context to these unknowns, as well as a bit of hope. Our goal is to reduce the UW's environmental impact, and my work will hopefully play a part in that. By speaking with our campus stakeholders, I learned in which areas the UW could improve sustainability performance. As a result, we could create a report that responds to the specific needs and helps establish a strong foundation for the future of zero waste at the UW. Also, the zero waste assessment revealed how important stakeholders are and emphasizes that sustainability is an institution-wide and community effort. Looking ahead, some of the next steps that UW Recycling will be taking and has already been taking is performing outreach to the stakeholders I interacted with. We are sharing the assessment results and recommendations with them and preparing to discuss the implementation of plans recommendations. And on a broader scale, my work shows that moving towards sustainability is achievable. Sharing these first steps of the UW Zero Waste journey can inspire others to act. The UW is a prestigious, large public institution that impacts a great community and therefore sets a precedent for what other institutions are capable of. I would like to thank my site supervisor, Liz, for helping me throughout the way of this project and for also all the help I've received from Amanda, my staff supervisor, and Gary Handworth, my faculty advisor. Thank you all for your guidance. And thank you so much to my friends and family. I really do appreciate your support. Thank you.